So I'm going to get started with our power hour tonight. I think it's helpful to hear how different coaches do it. I'm going to cover a little bit on Facebook and on Instagram, and I'm just going to basically walk you through what I do and see if anything can help you to power out your power hour. So number one, I'm going to start with adding to your network. You can do this so many ways on Facebook. One of my favorite ways to do this is by joining Facebook groups. Obviously, I want to be active in those groups, so I'm going to join things that are relative to me. And this is a great way for when you do connect with people, you are going to have something that you can connect with, right? So for example, and do not overthink this. This is so simple, and I think too many people get caught up on it like, oh my gosh, what group can I join? Keep it super simple. So for example, I have always wanted a Jeep Wrangler. So I joined a Jeep girl group. Okay. I'm always asking questions about it in there. Now that I own one, I am still posting in there, sharing what I'm getting or whatever. That way, when I add friends from this group, and I specifically will add friends that are active in the group. I won't just go through the friends list, but add people who are active in the group and people who I feel like I might be able to connect with. Then when we do finally connect, we already have something in common. This can literally be anything. If you love Disney, join a Disney group. If you love to vacation somewhere specific, join a group that's for that. Maybe it's hiking, maybe it's knitting. It can literally be anything, but this is a way that I add people on Facebook. Another thing that you can do is friends of friends list. If you feel like you go through your friends list and you find people that you could vibe with easily, that's another great way to add people. Do not think twice about, oh my gosh, what is this person going to think of? Like, you can't have those literally limiting beliefs in your head ever in this business. Get rid of them and just do the work. So add friends. Another way to do this on Facebook is through hashtags. And I like to find a post that I did recently. So typically it's within my last 3 to 6 posts on Instagram. And I use a hashtag that I either used in the photo or one that is similar to that photo. And then I will search that hashtag, and I always go to recent and not most popular. And from that hashtag, I will kind of scope that out and see from whoever else is using that hashtag if I can vibe with them, and I will just send them or add them as a friend. That way, when they see who the heck is this Nicole Faulkner girl, they will then go to my page and see, oh, well, she just posted about the same thing as I did. Like, okay, yeah, maybe I could vibe with her. And more likely, I feel, to have them follow you back. So you can always use hashtags that way. Another thing that I have been finding is the freaking ads, whether it be on Facebook or Instagram, suck me in terribly. Like, I'm horrible with it right now. So I am adding everybody who is also getting suckered into those ads. So for example, I love cheetah print. I have cheetah print freaking everything on every ad because I don't know how social media does it, but it knows what I'm talking about and then pops those ads up. So I then add all the people who commented and also tagged somebody in that recent cheetah print ad. We already have something in common, right? So super easy. I am super lame and do not have music for you guys, but I want you to go through right now for the next 5 minutes maybe and add away. Don't even think twice about it, especially if you're using the hashtag way. Like, get lost in your adding. Just add. Don't even think twice about it. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself at any time.
So like when you say that you're adding them on Instagram, are you just following them in hopes that they'll follow you back, or do you go to your Facebook and look them up on Facebook and follow or add them as a friend on?
Nope, that's a great question. I just I just hit the follow button.
Okay.
So follow on Instagram, add on Facebook.
Okay.
Another thing you can do on Facebook, you can even do this on Instagram, is locations. I know a lot of coaches are having success with adding people from a location, either a place that you have been recently, like to go to, or maybe again, even on Instagram, searching a location that you like to travel to or vacation to, or you want to go to, or whatever.
What's your take on adding people who are, like you say, that they're interested in the same stuff, but like what about other fitness people or people that are already posting fitness type stuff? Like, I don't ever seem to get any kind of engagement from that or any kind of, I like, because they're already doing their own thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if somebody is already doing their own thing, I might scope out their page and make sure that they're not already coaching or working with another company, like stand out wise. If I can't from the very beginning, just really quickly looking at their page, see a specific brand or whatnot, then my instant thought is coaching. So I am still going to add them. And then when I do connect with them, it's going to be more likely a coaching invite versus a challenge group invite.
Makes sense.
Another thing you can do is if you find a good hashtag that you feel like the majority of the people you're really liking their stuff, you can relate to it or whatever, follow that hashtag. That way, later on, when you are just scrolling through social media and you like, they're going to continuously pop up new people who use that hashtag. So that's an easy follow for you too. And if you do find somebody who does have a bigger account, I would then go to the people who either liked or commented on their post. Say they have 100,000 followers or 50,000 followers or whatever. I would go to the people who liked or commented on that post and then add those people. Of course, people who I feel like I can vibe well with, not the creepers. I think it's important too to get really specific with the people that you're looking for when you're searching hashtags too. So, for example, I'm a mom of two little girls. I loved moccasins for my kids. So, that's an easy hashtag that I could search for. Or I might search the company that I bought because then obviously I'm already going to have a connection with them. Or it might be the stroller that I love or whatnot. And although I don't necessarily use those things right now, I know that they are a mom who most likely is still in their postpartum journey. And this, I'll be able to connect with them really well. We'll do like 1 more minute. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about is connecting. So I kind of do connecting differently than I did when I first started. When I first started, I would try to send everybody that either accepted my friend request or followed me a message about anything I could think of, like their dog or the weather or whatever. And it was just a lot of time spent with forming them. Now I intentionally have turned the majority of my posts into things that I can connect with my followers with. So I want my followers to connect with me and be able to read my posts or follow my posts and my journey and my stories and say, wow, I can really connect with her. Or, wow, I really can relate to her. So you definitely have to walk this talk that you're going through. And the more you share and the more open you are about things, especially on your stories are basically like an open book for your followers to see, the more they'll be able to connect with you. So that's my focus when I connect. So based on that, I then always make sure that I'm going through my posts and making sure I'm responding to every single person who commented on my post. And then I could also send them a message to people that liked my post. And it can be something super simple. So for me, something that I do for my followers, because I struggled with nutrition and eating and cooking and said I couldn't cook or know how to cook. So I focus hardcore on that with sharing simple recipes. I'm a busy mom. I don't have time to put together a meal that takes 30 ingredients. So the less, the better. And I share that. So something I could do with connecting is anybody who liked my post that I posted my photo of my dinner, I could then send them a message and say, hey girl, I saw you liked my recipe of the salmon that I made. Are you a fish lover too? Or how do you typically cook your fish? Anything like that where you're connecting with something that they are already connecting with you through your post, if that makes sense. So I feel the best way that you're connecting through is definitely by sharing your journey too. If you're not sharing your journey and you're inviting people and you're adding people and you're trying to connect with them and you never post, it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to work. You have to do all the things too. So another thing you can do is connecting on their posts too. So you could see everybody who liked your or commented on your post, then go to their wall and then start commenting on something of theirs or send them a message about something they're doing. Same thing on Instagram is making sure that you're answering all or commenting on everybody who commented on your stuff. Another way that I love to connect with people on Instagram is stories. So I find that most people respond back to me more when I message them based on their story. So it might even be their kid doing something, and I'll just send them a message on their story saying, oh my gosh, he's so cute. And they'll usually respond to me versus if I comment on their post. So with that being said, when I add people, I intentionally will add more people that have the ring around their photo sharing that they have stories too, because to me, that means that they're more likely to be on social media too, if they are sharing stories. So I want people like that. Hopefully that makes sense. So go ahead and spend the time now with connecting people, either through stories, through your posts. I don't even care if you go, say, maybe you fell off the face of the earth when it came to coaching and you're jumping back in. Go through your wall, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, and go through the people who have liked and commented on your stuff, no matter how long ago your posts were, and send messages connecting to those people, whether it be through that post or something new. Another way you could easily connect is saying, hey girl, I see you're still following along with my journey. Are you on a journey as well? Or just something so simple, an easy way to connect. You can also go through the people who recently followed you on Instagram and connect, send a message to those who recently followed you. So it could be a short introduction of yourself. No matter what you're doing, end it with a question. That way it gets the conversation continuing to continue. Otherwise they might be like, I have no idea what the hell to say to this girl. So try to end it always with a question. I have a question that says, how often do you go through and clean out who you follow? I probably don't do it as often as I should. On Facebook, I definitely don't, and I need to. For anybody wondering, I still run probably half, if not a little bit more, of my business on Facebook still. And then the other part to the Instagram. But even on Instagram, I don't unfollow people as often as I should. But I believe Sam said she does every Monday from the week that she's been adding the whole prior week.
Yeah, I try to. It's more like twice a month. And what I do purposely is a couple days before, I actually unfollowed people today. So from last Thursday through yesterday, I commented the crap out of like exactly what Nicole was saying, like all the people that stories popped up, people in my feed, and I got way more followers because a lot of those people weren't following me back. But when I commented again, then they did. But yeah, I try and do twice a month.
So who do you typically unfollow? Just people who are not responding, people who aren't like engaging on your posts or whatever? Because that's been really frustrating for me, like here recently, is that a lot of people will follow me to get my follow back and then they'll unfollow me. So I lose followers.
So I would unfollow anybody who's not following you. As far as if they are following you, but you feel like you've never seen them engage or like on your post, do not unfollow them that way, because you will have so many people who do follow you and are too timid to even like your posts. I promise you.
Okay.
Oh, I think there was another question. After messaging followers and continuously getting no response from them, how soon do you just unfollow them? I never unfollow anybody. I never give up on anybody. I never stop inviting anybody. I know some coaches will say, last call to, do you want me to unfriend you or whatever? I don't do that. I continuously invite people and connect with them. And I don't really have like a strict schedule with it. I do feel that it's totally okay for me to invite the same people once a month. And that's specifically because I am sharing my journey. If I wasn't sharing my journey, then I would say, no, like you're not doing all the things. But I feel that you can invite everybody once a month, which if you're adding people to your network, you should have more people that you're inviting every month, which means you should have more follow-ups every single month, which is when the success happens, when it comes in.
So Nicole, that was my question. So I have followers and I message the followers with Sam's script, like, hi, happy 2019. Thank you for following me on this journey. Are you on a journey too? And they look at it and don't respond. So I guess that was my question and then I keep engaging with them and they keep looking at that message and still no response over and over and over again. So would you say that you're just going to continue following them and continue messaging them until they whatever, unfollow me.
Absolutely. Yes. I have some people who I probably have sent them a message, I'm not even kidding, 30 times and have no response back from them, but they are like my goal people. Like I will eventually get them. I see that they see it. I am trying everything. Sometimes I have to switch it up. Like, hey girl, I made this recipe tonight and my family totally loved it. Thought I'd share it with you. And send that. So sometimes I'll try switching it up from just invite or follow up or from that and try giving them free value. And then I'll get response back more likely. And then I'll go again back into an invite, but just try different things too.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you re-message them when they've never responded to you in the first place without sounding like, hey, I know you saw that message. Like, you know?
I honestly just resend it. And sometimes our conversation will be invite, yes, they're interested, then they ghost me. Okay, hey, follow up. My group are starting soon. Did you want that spot? They ghost me. Resend an invite. Half the time, I don't even look what my previous message was, and I still start over with a re-invite because a lot of times I'll find that they will then say like, hey, I never saw your message, or hey, I lost your message, or whatever. So I don't even care what I said previously. I have a new group always starting, and I'm going to invite you to it. That's how I feel.
Okay.
Again, I'm walking the talk. If I weren't sharing on social media and my stories that I have a group, that I am on this journey with them, that my struggles, what I'm doing about it, all of that, then I would say they're probably going to be like, what are you talking about? But I'm walking the talk, so totally acceptable. Again, if they don't want you, they'll block you, they'll unfollow you, whatever. They're following you for a reason. Okay, that was all on connecting. Now over into inviting. Again, I literally invite freaking everybody. I'll go through Facebook and go to anybody who liked or commented on my post, and I will send them an invite. To me, it doesn't necessarily have to be a, hey, my next group is starting soon type of thing. It could also be, especially if I've never talked with them before and I see that they're liking my posts or commenting on my post, I might send them that simple message of, hey girl, totally love that you're following along with my journey. Again, I'm walking this talk. If I weren't sharing what I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to send this message. Hey girl, I totally love that I see that you're following me on my journey, which I totally love. Are you on a fitness journey too? With a question mark. Super, super simple. To me, that's an automatic invite because they're then going to hopefully respond with either yes, which my instant response or thought is coaching opportunity. And if they say no, then I might say like, something like, have you ever thought about getting started? Have you been on a journey before in the past? And then I go right into my questions. I ask my questions. I keep control of the conversation. I relate to them. And then I drop the challenge, whichever challenge pack I would suggest to them. So it's super, super simple. You can also do that first one, especially if you've never talked with them before and you feel like I have nobody to invite. My coaches tell me this all the time. I have nobody to invite. And I'll say, how many friends do you have on Facebook? And they'll say, 1,200 friends. I'm like, you have 1,200 people to invite. Just go invite them. And if you've never chatted with them before, again, if you're walking this talk of the journey, you can easily send that message of, hey girl, I'm not sure if you've been following along with my journey, but I'm totally loving how much it has made an impact that I'm focusing on me. Are you on a fitness journey of your own or whatever? Something super, super simple. It's not an invite, but it's a connection. They're friends with me. They're most likely seeing my posts. If they haven't and they have no idea who that I am, they can then open up my wall and see, oh, okay, yeah, she's sharing recipes. She has kids. I can relate to that. She is sharing her transformation. Oh, she has a group open. Like, she's the real deal. She's not just sending me messages and not sharing her journey. Okay. On Instagram, another way that you can do this is through people who view your stories. So again, because I'm sharing in my stories every day, my workout, my Energize, my shake, my meals, my life, my crazy freaking kids, I can then send a message of, hey girl, I see you're still following along on my journey. Have you been wanting to get started on a journey of your own? Or, and sometimes I'll relate it to a challenge group, especially if I've already talked with them before. So it might be, and I always, again, try to relate. So it might be, especially like I just got done doing 21 Day Fix Extreme. So because I'm sharing that in my stories, my invite might be something like, hey girl, I see you're still following along on my journey. I'm loving this 30-minute program that I'm doing, and I can't believe my 3 weeks are already are almost over. That flew by. Have you been thinking about getting started? So I tried to share something that they could relate to, like that 30 minutes. This program flew by because most likely they're crazy busy. They don't have time for the gym. They don't have time for, hours of doing the fitness routine or whatever. So I try to drop that in my invite.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
How long do you try to connect with them before you start introducing anything about like the groups or anything like that? Like how much small talk is too much, like where they completely lose interest and you're just like the conversation's just over, versus like you don't want them to think that you're only contacting them to get them to join. Like,
yeah, which is where I say I do most of my connecting through my posts. Okay. So my posts, if you go to my page, it's not all, oh, did my 30-minute workout or drank my shake or here's my Energize. Instead, it's sharing that I'm struggling with motherhood and here's a tip for it. It's sharing, here's a healthy recipe that I whipped up when I didn't have any food in the fridge, or, it's things that my followers can connect with that way. Because to me, then they already know, like, for example, do you ever follow somebody on Instagram or Facebook? You've never chatted with them before and you're like, I feel like we're best friends and she has no idea. Yeah. That's basically what I'm going for. I want people to know who I truly am. Same thing with my Instagram stories. I don't hold anything back. I share it all. So to me, they already know who I am without me knowing who they are. And you know what I mean? Like they can already connect with me with us not even having a conversation yet. If you aren't sharing your journey on social media, then you're going to have a harder time doing this. You're going to have a harder time connecting with people. And the reality of it is, you guys, coaching, number one, should be your journey first and foremost. So if you are not sharing your journey on social media, I guarantee you're having a hard time on your own journey. So use the sharing aspect for your own accountability. If you suck at meal prep right now, own up to it that you suck, share on social media that you suck with it, and then start sharing, okay, I'm going to share a tip every single day of what I'm doing for my meal prep. And this is for me, and this is for you. So right there, you're focusing on you, you're focusing on what you're struggling with, and then your followers, you're giving free value, you're helping them, you're already connecting with them without having a conversation. Does that make sense? Okay. And if you are new and you're like, I don't have a transformation yet, I have no idea how to do this. I started coaching the day I signed up, I dove into this. I had no idea what coaching was. And instead of me saying, I have a challenge group that starts soon where I have seen these incredible results or whatever, because that wasn't the case. I had literally just started. Instead, use it as I, flip it to, I actually just started this health and fitness journey, and this is day 2, and I'm already loving the support that I'm getting from these people. Would you want to join me on this journey? So simple. Again, relate to them. Share what you're struggling with, because most likely they have something similar that they're struggling with too. Thank you, Dean. Does anybody have specific questions on inviting? I feel like most coaches get hung up on inviting the most, and it's so simple. You just have to get that limiting belief out of your head of what are they going to think? What are they going to say? What if I'm told no? All of that. If you're not getting told no, you're not inviting enough. And I typically will come up with, just right off the top of my head, a short inviting script, and then I will just copy and paste it to a bunch of people. You can bang out invites so quickly. Just copy and paste that little script that you came up with. Okay, and then the last thing that I do is follow-ups. For me, I guess it just depends on your tracking system and how you do things, but follow-ups are basically responding to anybody and everybody's messages, making sure you don't have any open messages. And a follow-up can honestly just be another invite, especially if they have ghosted you, your conversation has stalled or whatever. Just send another simple invite. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't word vomit. So many coaches word vomit and give all the information at once. Don't do that. Keep it short and sweet, and think, you're going to be inviting people who are like you. You're going to get the best challengers and the best coaches who are like you. So think about what you would want to hear when you're sending these invites or sending these follow-ups. Don't overcomplicate it. So I will go through my messages on Instagram, my messages on Facebook, and just make sure all of them are responded to. I'll make another follow-up will be, I will go to Share a Cart and see everybody who has not completed their link yet, and I will follow up with all of those people. And yeah, that's it. So I basically treat my follow-ups as another invite too. So if I've done invites, I've done everything, and I feel like there's more to be done, I will go through my messages. So today is March 20th. I would go back to February and before and follow up with those people by sending them another invite, and just go through my February, January, December, November, and just keep going back through. And again, if the conversation has stalled and you're like, I have no idea how to follow up with this person, send them another invite. You have another group opening. If you don't have a group opening, your coach has a group opening. If you have no idea when the group is or what to be inviting to, send your coach a message and they will help you. Does anybody have any questions on anything? No?
I have a question, Nicole.
Yeah.
I was wondering, how much time do you spend doing this, like these specific activities each day?
So I don't sit here like this every single day and do a power hour. I do more of, like, in the morning, I like to respond to my messages, and it just depends on what the message is, whether it needs to be an invite, a follow-up, or whatever. My kids are usually up playing in the morning and leaving me alone for like a good hour. So that's the time that I'll go through my messages and send invites and respond to messages. And then throughout the day, I'm always responding to messages, doing other coach tasks like chatting with my coaches, making my recognition boards, doing that kind of stuff. So it all varies. Not one day looks the same as the other. I will say though, I feel, and I asked my coaches this before I hopped on here, if you're struggling with your conversations, absolutely take a screenshot of them and send them to your coach, because a lot of times if you feel like you're not having success in this business, it's your conversation. And it just takes time figuring out what to say, how to say it. I find that a lot of coaches, they just get so excited and they love what this opportunity has done for them that they just give all the information at once, and it's just too much. It takes away the value of everything. So if you're having trouble, definitely 100% send screenshot of your conversations to your coaches or coach. But yeah, and it's just, I mean, my life now, or my schedule now, looks completely different than it did when I was full-time. When I really grew my business, I was working full-time and didn't have a lot of time. So I would sit down at night from like 8 to 11 and just do all this work. And that's when I really grew my business the most.
Thanks.
Yep. I'd say we're done, but everybody's working, so I don't want to stop them.
Hey, Nicole.
Yeah.
When people say yes, they're on a journey, and it's the first time you've ever connected with them, do you straight up say, "Oh my God, girl, you should be coaching on my team with me"?
Kinda, but I recently have been doing like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. It's incredible how do I say it? Something about, it's amazing how good you can feel when you treat and fuel your body right. And then I will end it with, I always do this. My coaches know, look at, they're laughing. I know I say the same thing every time and then I can never remember what I say. Somebody help me. I say,
You just sent it to me. I'll look real quick.
yes, I say it all the time.
Hold on. Awesome. It's amazing how good you can feel when you treat and fuel your body right. I'm surprised you're not coaching, or are you?
Love that.
Do you want me to type it in or something?
Yes, please. Thanks, guys.
I feel like I might have missed y'all saying this. I think someone did ask it, but for those that like continue watching your stories, like I've wrote them, like, you know, the whatever hey girl thing. Do you like wait a little while and then do it again? Like they're still watching, but they're like ignoring. I know someone just went over this, but I kind of missed it.
With the stories one, I'm obviously not going to invite the same people every day, or even, I don't feel like I do it every week. I feel that I can invite people once a month. That's what I do. That's like my goal, is to invite everybody once a month.
So will
Obviously,
you, oh, sorry. Will you
No,
like
go
call
ahead.
them out? Like, I see you still watching my stories, or?
I'll change it up. I'm obviously not going to use the same one as before, but it's always something similar. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like right now, I'm sending to people who are watching my stories, and my my message is, hey girl, I have 2 more spots open in my next motivational group. I'd love to help you get started. What do you think? Ready? So simple.
Cool. Okay, cool. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What would you say, like I mean, like I know everybody's is a little bit different, but like a reasonable time where you should start to see people wanting to join you? Like, I feel like right now I'm at a time because I just started, like people are wanting to see that something's actually working for me. Like, since I just started, they're not just going to jump into, they're going to want to see some kind of transformation picture or some kind of like that I'm sticking with it or, something like that. So like, what would be like a reasonable amount of time? And that's just for people who actually know me. I know people like off Instagram and stuff like that probably aren't thinking that, but for like friends and family, because that's kind of something that like my coach was always saying, like, hit up your friends and family first and stuff like that. But for those people, even, I feel like they're just sitting back and watching and just being like, is this really something that's going to work? Or,
So I would say personally, because I started coaching the day that I signed up for my own journey, and I signed up for my own journey when I was literally at my rock bottom. So that didn't hold me back from inviting people. And the people who I thought would never start initially were my first challengers. So don't make the decision for them. And like I said before, I would do it as when I first started inviting people, it was, I am literally at my rock bottom that I have to do something. So I joined this motivational group, and I'm getting started with workouts, and I'm focusing on my nutrition. Do you want to get started with me? So simple. And if they tell you that they do have questions of, is this going to get me results or whatever, you can obviously share transformations of your coach or transformations of other people on the team or whatever. But even you just showing up for 4 days, versus you not showing up for 4 days on your Instagram stories, they're going to be like, okay, she's showing up. Like, obviously something is working.
right. Okay.
Yeah. I honestly wish more coaches starting out would start out with coaching, because I feel like they have the best momentum. Think about it. Like, how much everybody loves day one. How pumped do you get on day one of a new program or a new group? Like, day one is the best day of all the days. So I wish more people would dive in with coaching right from the start.
All right, guys, it is 9:32 actually here on the East Coast. I love these because I feel like, especially at the end, I was just going through messages and I realized just make sure everybody gets a message, because I was going through my stories and I was like, everyone needs a message, and it'll be different. Like, some people will be a follow-up, some people will be an invite. Just as long as I'm looking at who's watching my stuff and I'm always adding my network, it's like, just continue the conversation in some way, shape, or form. So super simple. Nicole, thank you so much for leading us through the Power Hour. I will be posting the recording. And for anybody not going on the cruise, our calls are continuing next week. We have people doing a Getting Started Right call on Monday, and then another Power Hour just like we do every single Wednesday. So feel free to hop on. I will do the text reminders if you want one of those. And have a great night. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.